Hi, welcome to Messy Missy Creates. This is Melissa. I am going to finally get started in my glue book. If you haven't seen it, here it is. And here's a bin of some backgrounds that I pulled. But this, let me move this for a second. Let me show you the glue book. Of course, I had to cover it in, rainbow paper. And I used my washi. And I've got, well, let's look at this part. So, got almost a rainbow. I could have done a little bit better, and now I know what I did and what I didn't do, and so the yellow is too predominant, and there's reasons for that, and now I know. But I'm happy with it. They're all the pretty colors, and then some neutrals, and some florals, and some bunnies, and some spring colors, a rainbow, all the things. So anyway, I'm just going to get started. Let me first make a disclaimer. I am brand new at this. I have never glue booked. I've wanted to for a couple of years now. I've watched people do it. I'm like, I can do this. And every time I'd start, I'm one that I needed just a little bit of structure. So the randomness of the glue book probably threw me a little bit because I just didn't know where to start. And so then when I started seeing this the color glue book go through, or the rainbow glue book, whichever, I was like, that might have just given me just enough to satisfy my brain's need for a little bit of structure. Like it has to have a point. And I know that that's not the point. That's the opposite of the point of a glue book. But so but anyway, I know my brain, and I know that it needs a little bit of help. So I sat here the other night and I cut out, well, not these things, cut out what I went through in my last harvest, and I cut out all these little bits of the solid colors, in between the images. And then I realized, I have a lot of little bits, and some of them are straight and they're going to be easy. Some of them are not. Some of them are little tidbits like this, but I didn't square them off because, if I need it this way, I might, I'll do some of that when it comes time. But what I wanted to do is just kind of get started. And I know that really not knowing where to start or how to start. I know, obviously, the fun part of this is once you have the backgrounds, putting all the pretty images on the top. Okay, that's probably going to be the easier part. The harder part is getting all your backgrounds together because you need some sort of color background. So all the images that I see that I like, then when I go to actually use them, it makes me think, okay, well, that actually, I want it on top, not on bottom. And I don't know if you remember my video where I talked about cake layers, and the background layer, I kind of likened to the actual cake part, and then the top images I compared to the icing on the cake. So anyway, just to clarify that. But then I went back through, and when I tried to kind of piecemeal this together, I thought, I might want some bigger background images. So I haven't cut that down. So I got a couple, and I think I'm going to use them. I think that if, like this one has some words on it, they're very subtle words, and I think I can cover that. So I'm going to use this as a background. It's green enough. I think I was sort of trying to make it more solid color background, and I don't think that's necessary. I think that was just me being a little OCD. And so I think that these will work as well. So I want to try those, see if I'm happy with them. This one, I loved it just the way it is, and I don't know how to cut it down. So I might not. I don't know how I'm going to use this yet. So I'm going to set it to the side. And all right, we're just going to kind of get started. I know I want to use this one. I'm going to try to use that one. I'll probably cut it in half. And I'm going to try to use that one to start with. And then I'm just going to kind of see. I might regret having all those little bits and pieces. I know later I might need some filler. So that's kind of what I'm thinking I might save those for. But in the meantime, I needed some background images. So I kind of want to see, before I cut out anything else, kind of want to see how I'm going to like this. Now, I was trying to decide which green page to use it on. Obviously, I could use it on that. And I could take my paper cutter and I could square this up a little bit better. But I'm thinking I want it over here. I'm thinking I like the darker green. And I think I'm going to overlap just a hair. Overlap the washi just a little bit. I mean, I could bring it all the way over here. But I kind of want a little bit of the washi to show at least. So that's kind of what I'm thinking right there. And then little by little, I can overlap with my top images and cover some of these words. So I think that will work. Again, if you're an experienced GlueBooker, and you want to chime in and give me your opinion or some advice in the comments, I'm happy to hear it. I would love to hear some advice. Like I said, all I've done is watched GlueBook. I've watched people GlueBook, and I know it's something I want to do, and so I'm just going to do it, and I'm just going to start somewhere. You got to start somewhere, and that's kind of been what's been tripping me up is, you know, what book, what this, what that. Well, I finally decided on a book, you know, decided on what I was going to use. I decided on a theme. And so now it's just a matter of me putting some images down. I have some of my favorite images. These are not them because I want my favorite ones on top, right? And I have not rounded my corners on this book because my corner rounder does not want to work right. Let's see, I have somewhere up here. Here we go. Sorry for my reach. Uh-oh. I have a little smoothing tool. Okay, yay, we started. Looky there, we started. Now I'm not liking that washi so much. But I can go back and I can add a different piece of washi if I want. But I like the depth of the colors. So, all right, we started. Sometimes it's just getting started. And of course, I love all the garden stuff. So that's like right up my alley. Now this one, I may want to come back and end up trimming it and using it on top, you know. Because to me, that background isn't green enough. And it might be. I'm just, you know, until I see it and until I do it, I'm not going to know, right? And I'm not going to know until I do it. So it's kind of a catch-22. And this was my wood grain washi. And see, even though that's not brown, I kind of like that on that page. But I'm not going to do that for now. I'm looking for this. So I have this gray and black. And then I have black and white. There we go. Okay, so it's not black and white. It's more of a gray and white. Now I have, or gray and black. I have this white with a little bit of light gray wood grain in it. I'm not real sure how that's going to get used yet. Nothing that I've put up against it I've liked. So I'm not really sure what that's going to do. So I might just like not worry about it for right now. And I might just focus on what I think this will work. And I may end up covering. I'm not that fond of this washi. So I might cover more of this up a little bit. Just a little. I think I need to trim off. I left a little bit of this white border. I think I need to trim it down just a hair. Because I'm thinking after I see it on the page, I'm not that fond of the white border. Not on this gray and black. If I were using it on that white and gray, maybe. But not liking it on this page. But I'm just going to put it down. I can always cover it up later. but I wanted to just get started. Just putting that first piece in was a big deal. So, do I want it this way? Do I want it this way? Do I want it this way or this way or this way? Thinking maybe like this. Actually, I kind of like this better. Does it matter? Not really. Not really at all. What are we thinking here? I could leave. That actually doesn't look that bad with that washi showing. It shows the lighter shades of gray in there. Think I'm still going to overlap a hair just because I already kind of set that precedence. And my washi is different layers, so at least I can kind of make them all a little more flush. I mean, some people go all the way. I could go all the way to the border. But then what was the point in using the pretty washi, right? Okay, I'm just going to do it. Just do it. So, oh, well, it helps if you glue on the correct side. That is kind of a must. So, if you were wondering about that, I can say that with some sort of confidence that you have to put the glue on the right side. Okay, there's my professional GlueBook tip of the video. Now, how did I have this? Like this, and we'll overlap just a hair. Okay. And I can always go back and trim up the edges a little bit. I don't want to have to do that a whole lot. So, I'm going to get it as close to the edge as I can. Yay, we started. Okay, so with that done, let's play in here a little bit. So, like, this is aqua. I did not cut. I could have cut that strip. I could have cut those words off. I think I'm just going to try putting this down like it is. It has a little bit of white here. I think I'm just going to try it the way it is. If the words themselves are teal, so it's not hurting anything. Let's see, I have this. What do I have for teal? I have this blue and teal. So I am going to try to do a couple of pages that are a little bit of a blend of colors, a mixture of colors. Just a little bit. And this is a darker. I don't want it on there, I don't think. Let's see. I think I'm going to like it on here. And I wasn't sure about the mascara. But, you know, it just adds a little bit, right? So, I could do that. Or I might want to do it across the bottom and go ahead and jump this. And then that way I have my bottom done. And then if I decide to leave the words on there, then they're at least facing the right way. And it's not bad wording. Not bad words. It's not horrible, you know. This is a different shade of teal. Oh, wait. This one might work. This one I definitely want to do floral-ish. So I'm not sure if I want to start here or not. So I'm going to go back to this one. We're just going to make the decision to put it right here. Okay. So, get my little glue page out again. I'm going to, again, put it on the back of put the glue on the back of the image. And that helps. Well, and then you can tear it. Yay. Tear it right down the words. Okay, I'm just going to keep going. See if I can fix it. Well, that's a good way to start. That was perfect. Okay, now I'm not so sure I want this across the bottom because I don't think I can hide that down there. But I'm going to give it a whirl. I could, if I try it at the top, darn it. Let me try it up here. If I put it at the top, I stand a better chance of hiding it a little bit. Let's see. That definitely added to the level of difficulty. All right, get this one corner on there. Get this, scooch up just a hair. All right, let's see if I can kind of pinch this back together a little bit. Ooh, almost can't even see it. Looky there, looky there. Now, that's not quite in line with what I want. There we go. Let's be careful right there. Got a little wrinkle. So this is definitely beginner glue book video. All right, let's fold that and make a crease in there. Alrighty, well, that was kind of a little bit of a rocky start on that page, but all right, so far I like it. I'm not sure I like that I jumped the tape on this side, but I probably could peel it back up and trim it if I wanted to, but I'm gonna leave it for now. Ooh, I definitely have wrinkles. Don't want wrinkles. Yeah, that tear in it made it really hard to get it straight. Or, you know, because it kept bending when I would try to hold it down. So, let me see if I can get any of it to smush this way and to smush back that way. All right. Well, there's a little hint of a white line right there, if you can see that. Just the ever so slight little white line, but it kind of blends in with those little white ripples in the water. So I may have to cover that whole thing up, but that's okay. I'll just overlap my images. So, all right. So this is kind of the last, not the last, but like I have that one. I left the little dog on there because he's cute. I want to try this piece, and I'm kind of experimenting with how this will work. Not on that page, obviously. But I have a neutral back here. Let's see. Let's see where my neutrals are. So this is definitely a lighter. I went ahead and left the baby on there because, well, one, she's precious. I say she, it might be a he, I don't know. And I thought, if nothing else, I mean, yellow is still kind of a little neutral, maybe. I wasn't sure if I'd want that on that page. It's definitely not going on that one. I'm going to struggle with that probably more than anything else. All right, so I'm going to have to use it on this lighter wood grain one, I think. And I may end up covering it up. And I could cut this off and use this small square, which might be the smart thing to do, and then use that on the yellow page. Let's see. My yellows are so bright. It's the only yellows that I really had. Let me see if I'm going to like that on the yellow. I don't know. I probably would cut. If I don't use this, as a whole piece, then I'm probably going to fussy cut the baby out. I know I like this bottom piece on here. I like that. But I really wanted one solid piece just to get started. I could go back and add. No, because I don't want those words on there. What do you think? I mean, it matches okay. I don't know. Decisions, decisions, decisions. Okay. I'm cutting her. Darn it. That was just kind of a shot in the dark. I wanted to see if I liked it that way. And I didn't. So now I know. Now I know. Let's see if I can do this without tearing it. Not sure if I have any more room on this page that doesn't have glue. Might have to use my smaller glue stick for these smaller pieces. Well, we're going to throw the glue stick all around. Oh, apparently I really want to start every page in this bottom right corner. That's also how I tend to look at a magazine, is the bottom or the right to left. Now that looks upside down. Ay, ay, ay. I know it's not, because we saw the picture. That's how it was in the magazine. But for some reason, now it looks upside down. Okay. Well, I'm going to see if I can trim that. There. Maybe that'll help. That helps a little bit. In just a second. Let me turn my fan on. Give me just a second. I got hot. Alrighty. So, let's look, now that we've done that, let's look at another magazine. Just for giggles. Let me put my cap back on my glue stick. Because I know that, well, with the exception of this one, let's see. This could be a background piece on the pink. And I have, where did that, oh, I already took it out. I do have that one that's kind of a long piece. And this one is kind of a, that one's a bigger piece. I do have a couple bigger pieces. We could start. Let's see. Oh yeah, that's right. And I have this one. All right. Isn't that pretty? I debated. It had an eagle on it with a solid black background, but I think this is going to be the better bet. All right, so let's see if we can get these glued down before we look at that magazine. So let's try this blue. We haven't done a blue yet. Now, if it matches here better, see, that's green. We have that blue and white. That might actually work. Or thinking here. Oh, I have a deeper blue. Nope, kind of liking on this lighter. Now, obviously, I don't want that, but I'm thinking that that might not matter. Because I can always cover it up, right? I can overlap, and then that's a solid piece. I kind of like it with this blue, but not really. I love this one. This is like one of my favorite washi tapes. That blue almost doesn't match. This is, I think you can't see. Sorry. I had it down too close to me. It's a different blue. And it's not really one of my washi colors. Other than this one. This one's got different shades of blue in it. Oh, wait. But wait. This is more teal than blue. I don't know. Which one do you think? That's definitely got different shades of blue in it. But it's more of a darker, like an indigo. So it might have to go here. And we might have to just be okay with it. Because I'm not liking it. I'm not liking this blue anywhere else. Wow, that kind of shocks me. Okay, what are my other options? Really don't have a whole lot of options here. It's not going to go here. this was going to kind of be my floral. That's more of an aqua page. I could put it... Nope, don't like it there either. All right, little puppy. Guess what? You're getting pushed to the side here. I may need to find some different blue washi. Okay, let's see if we can match this one anywhere. So if you GlueBook, if you do a GlueBook, what do you do if you can't get it to match what you have? I'm thinking that's too much writing. I'm thinking I'm gonna have to cut that one down. Let's try doing this kind of hotter pink. My pinks are definitely more in that blush color, except for this page right here. So let's start in this bottom left-hand corner. Let's do that for a change. And then that way, I'm just gonna overlap this a hair. Okay, I like this. I can live with this. Well, I'm really not worried about it, to be honest with you, because that gives me a chance to overlap. Gives me a chance to overlap my images, right? Okay. Where did it go? Oh yeah, and I have, excuse my reach, I have 2 of these. So if I put it here and I put it here, that gives me almost one complete background. So while we're on this pink, let's try and see what we think about this. Do we want this on here? See, that would definitely cover that up. We could split up those faces a little bit. That's interesting. I'm kind of thinking they were together like on 2 pages in a magazine, so I had to tear them apart. Let's see if I like that one on a different page. Let's see. This one is more of a fuchsia, so I'm not thinking I'm going to like it there. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. What do we think about this one? That's really got some red in it. Nah. Let's play on this hot pink page. Let's go with what we like. I mean, because you know it's got bacon and eggs on it, right? Okay, so I could do this one down here and then overlap them like this. But why would I want to do that? I want to cover as much ground as I can. That's my goal. Okay. And then like later when I have a piece that's solid or not directional, you know, I can come back and do this. So let's get this baby glued down before I change my mind again. Right? So let's do this. I know that had a pretty succulent on the back of it, but I needed the pink. So the pink one. Okay, let's do this without tearing it. Oh, so do you have a GlueBook? What is your theme? I would love to hear if you've done this, what your theme is, and if you have any suggestions. Because you might be watching this and going, oh, you're making a mistake. Oh, don't do that. Don't put that there. You're going to regret this. And if you're thinking that, I'd like to know. I really would. And the rest of it, I'll live and learn, right? I mean, you got to make your own mistakes. I'd like to make as few as possible. So I'm one that I have no problem learning from someone else's mistakes. You know, there's some people like, you know, some teenagers that you might know that, you know, they're not going to follow your advice because they apparently want to make their own mistakes. I'm not that person. I've made enough mistakes on my own for several people And, you know, I don't mind taking advice at all. Let's see. Of course, I could do that. And then that way I at least have 2 big pieces. And nope, I'm gonna, that's actually not a bad idea. Not a bad idea at all. Because then, okay, I need to cut this white off of here. Oh. I do know enough to know that I think it's a good idea to get your edges. I do believe I feel pretty confident in saying that that's probably a good initial policy. So that's kind of where I'm at. I kind of like that on opposite sides. What do you think? And then I need to cover that. But I mean, I could cover that with a sticker or an image easy. So I'm kind of thinking I like that. Of course, I could take and glue this right back together in the crease like it was in the original magazine I took it out of. But what fun is that? Let's see. Do we want them to face the opposite direction? Ooh, wait a minute. I actually think I like that better. Now this overlaps this a lot. And I could trim that down a little bit and use that little piece somewhere else. Okay, I'm going to start. Yeah, I think that's kind of cool. What do you think? No, I think I'm going to leave that because I'll have to trim. I'd have to cut it almost perfectly to make that happen. I don't think I want to do that. If I put it here, well, see, now I've already put this down here, so I'm not going to overlap that much. If I put this down here, that would be easier to cover, but I like them on opposite corners here. Okay, so if I trim off that, it would trim it all the way to here, and then I'm going to have this big gap right here to fill, but that actually might not be horrible. This is not a how-to video. This is a how-I video. Oh, wait, look. Let's see. I could cut, at least I could square this off. And that gives me another piece to use. Sure, why not? Let's do that. Rather than wasting it, because at least for the moment, my background pieces are scarce and I can't get my pretty images on there until I have all my background images. So there, that works. And that didn't make too big of a thing right there. All right, so let me get this one down. Get this down. All right, I'm happy so far. Are you happy so far? I have wanted to do this for so long, and I don't know why. I don't understand what makes this so intriguing. And if you try to explain that to a non-crafty person or somebody that hasn't seen a GlueBook video, you know, they're like, what do you want to glue stuff on a paper for? I mean, why glue stuff? And my first thought was, why do you want to cut up pictures in a magazine just to rearrange them and glue them back down in another book? That was kind of my first thought when I first saw a GlueBook video or heard the concept of a GlueBook. But then as I watched more, and I have all these magazines from a long time ago, so then it became, there's all these images in these magazines. I want to hold on to these magazines because there's certain images in there I really like. And I want to showcase them in some way as like my favorite images. So then I started seeing the value of the GlueBook. I'm like, oh, now it makes more sense. So I guess I don't know why other people do, and it just seems like it'd be relaxing. Of course, in my brain, I can take something that's relaxing and make it very stressful. Just because that's my specialty. That's my superpowers. If you catch my drift. I'm just really good at it, you know. Everybody's got to be good at something. So that's what I'm good at. And might as well own it, right? Okay, so I have to focus. I can't talk. And my tongue is probably sticking out of my mouth ever so slightly while I'm doing this. So I'm glad that you can't see me. But now you have a mental image. There. All right, I'm liking it. I can live with that. I can live with it. So some of these smaller pieces I am going to save for when I need a gap filler. You know, I think that would probably be a good idea. I mean, I could patchwork this to death, you know, like that, and just keep adding to it. And that was my original plan, or my original thought. And then I went back and watched another video or two, and I thought about it, because I was going to do this video last night, and I was like, no, I'm just going to think about it a little bit differently. And I thought, you know, I'm just going to try, because, you know, when you collage something, any kind of collage, if you can start with some bigger base layers, then it makes the rest of the collage come together a whole lot easier. And that was one of the mistakes I made early on, probably like many people did, when I was trying to collage with, what, napkins or tissue paper or, you know, music sheets or whatever. And I would just use too small pieces. And then I'd have to work myself into a frenzy. Look, yay! All right, we have some color on this page. I might not be too far from some images. I mean, you know, a little bit, but I had these all arranged, and then I threw them all in this basket. I'm like, really? Why? So I have strips. These are, again, my inclination is to kind of save them for, let's see, I figured this would go on here. If it went all the way to the top, I would use it. But I'm thinking I might need, you know, if I find a bigger image, then I might need this strip for a gap filler. I might need it on top, is what I'm trying to say. So I'm going to save some of those smallest images. What else do I have? Let me see what shades of blue I actually do like. And you know what? This one might actually go perfectly right here. It's got a little bit of green. It's not the right color green, but it certainly is a bigger piece. And so that certainly works. I'm going to square up this edge a little bit. It's where I tore it. So I'm just going to square up that edge a pinch. So, have any of you seen, well, let me start by saying this. And I meant to bring it into a video, or I don't have it in this room with me, but I have it in my possession. And I think that would be my great-grandmother, my mother's grandmother. Oh, yes. Had what could be considered a glue book. And I never really put that together until just recently. And I was going to show you on one of the videos, and I forgot to bring it in here. Hold on, I need to trim this because it's throwing my edge off. Because when I'm trying to glue this blue one on, it's not, the edge of the paper is not where I think it is. I'm really happy with that. I'm glad I did that. So I have a lot of those types of images. So I should be able to fill that page up pretty quick. All right, so where was I? Right here. So I can't keep up with my, here it is, my gluing book. Yeah, I might have to turn the page on that. I liked that little image, but I decided to sacrifice it for the sake of the glue book. Okay, be careful not to tear this. Let's see, go slow. And go this way and this way. Oop, I thought I heard it tear. Okay. All right, where was I putting this? Top corner. At least the butterflies are flying in the right direction. Let me see if I can get this top edge pretty close. I don't want to cover up much of that washi tape at all. That is like my favorite. I already said that. And let's see, better to have it over than not enough. Okay. Alrighty. So let me push that. Ooh, don't tear it. Don't tear it. All right, so how am I doing for this rookie glue booker? All of you experienced glue bookers out there, or those of you who have watched more, at least watched more glue book videos than I probably have, what do you think? Am I doing okay? I'm having fun. I think that's sort of the point, right? I think that's the idea. Oh, at least this has given me an idea of what colors to look for in the, I mean, I know what washi I used, but yeah, I think I'm going to go back and search for some bigger images because I like having those big images on the bottom. Still going to put this down. Let's see which, and I love that. I know that I'm not a purple fan, but that is a very, very deep, deep purple and indigo. And we're counting it as a purple. Okay. So I'm trying to figure out if I want this on this page. I think I want it on here. Obviously, I'm not putting it there. Ooh, I kind of like that. That has one little letter up there, and I think I'm just going to ignore it. Those maybe I can cover up. Maybe I want it down here, because then that way that'll make those easier to cover if they're towards the center of the book. Okay, let me, you know, I was going to straighten up that edge, but yeah, because that gives me a solid border on this bottom. Now, those are very different, but they're still neutral colors. They're still browns. It still counts. And I think I have another strip of this on the other side of the page. I only cut one to see how I was going to like it and how I was going to use it. So, I'm thinking that's what I'm doing with it right there. And I may not overlap those. I might try to get it right on the edge, but I don't know if that's going to work or not. That would be asking way too much of my gluing abilities. Okay. I need a magazine that to glue on that's not falling apart. Okay. Oh, I think that glue stick is reaching the end of its lifespan a little bit. Okay, so I'm very glad that I waited and went back and searched for some little bit bigger images. I think that was a good decision. I think that was a good idea on my part. All right, I could start here. Nope. You know what? Let's just decide how far over. Nope, I can't do it that way because I'm going to come up short. All right, so let's get it down on the bottom. I just really I really have not seen anybody start from scratch. If you know of any good videos where somebody started the glue book from absolute scratch, that, oh no. Now that fit a minute ago, did it not? I swear, oh, I guess I didn't account for the crease. Okay, well, that's sticky. And now I'm gonna have to go here, I think. I don't like it there. All right, well, let's put it right up to the edge. It's got to go up to the edge of this washi. It has to. Wow, I really did not think that I was going to have that problem with this. This is not going to have any glue on it by the time I'm done. Oh, come on, you got to go in there. You have to. Okay. I don't need it short on the bottom though. Well, that's kind of a phooey, but I still like it. Okay. Alrighty. But I'm sure I can find, well, I got to cover that up anyway. So I'll just find, well, maybe I already have a piece. I mean, I could even take something like that little strip right there, except I think I'm going to use this back piece. Again, these little strips, you know, you might need them down. See, like I could have put a strip, not this color, but I could have put a strip down there, and then that would have extended. I guess if I had gone, and I could always add a little piece of washi right there too. Yeah, I know I didn't finish that sentence, but it's okay. It wasn't important. See, this I was thinking was going to go here. Probably going to have to, that's not bad if it's not running, I guess it's like the other piece. If it's not running alongside of the, I'm going to save the strip. I don't have to put that piece down right this second. So, all right, what do we have? Oh, I love this basket, except it's not time for the basket yet. But this is kind of what I was thinking. See, I could do that right there. And then it covers up, you know. I mean, I'm not putting that down yet, but... So those are more of my focal pieces. Oh, these pieces right here. What else do I have that's brown? See, look, I have all kinds of little wood grain pieces. And I have like solid dark. I think this would go more on that page. I love this right here. But see, I'm going to want it. So I could cut that and put that right there. But I think I would wait until I glue this next piece on, right? So that's what I'm kind of saving those for. And same with that. But I love this right here. I was tickled to find those little bits of background pieces. Well, I could let you look while I'm plundering. Let's see. Oh, let me look. I want to at least look because I have more of this that I can cut out. I just kind of want to see where I'm going to want this. Like these colors. Like what pages they're going to fit on. That's a big enough one. I could glue down. Oh, I could glue this down. Let's see. I don't think I want to. I want to see what else I'm going to put on this page before I commit to that. And let's see. I'm just looking to see what page I'm going to want that on. I'm thinking I may want it on this darker solid. I don't know. That's more of a green. I may have to put a different piece of washi down here because I'm not sure I'm going to like that. Oh, actually, that's not bad. Because it does have that darker green in it. So that really doesn't match, and it's kind of touching, so I don't know if I like it. Ooh, wait. But wait. Nope. Okay. Nope. 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 I like that too. This is a pretty washi. I don't know. I'm not sure. Alrighty, so this has a little bit of purple in it. So, alright, so here's one of my purples. I don't have many. I'm not sure if this would go on the purples or, yeah, my pinks just aren't going to support that shade. But I wasn't sure if this would go here. It's not bad, especially if I went like that. But I think I'm kind of liking it here better. What do you think? Let me trim. Has just a slight little white edge on it. Okay. Those little shreds out of the way. Now this one I believe is going to be in this pink range right here. Yep. Not that one. I'm thinking I'm not going to like that washi too. So see, you learn just by doing. So I have a good bit of red. And I have... What did I do with it? Oh, I'm almost an hour in. Oh my goodness. So see, red might end up looking better with this washi because it does have red flowers in it. That's like more of a tomato red, whereas this is more of a... That doesn't look horrible with it. But I actually am thinking I like this on here. So... Yeah, probably would be a good background, wouldn't it? I think so. All right, I might commit to that because at least it covers something. I could start at the top. There's a thought. Could start in this corner. I could just do it and not obsess about it. But what fun would that be? Okay, I'm gonna glue it down. And I think I'm going to leave that in here. Let's glue this last piece down, and then I'm going to let you go. And then now at least, I wanted to at least do this much so that I had an idea of, now when I go back and I look at, you know, in the magazines, I know a little bit better what I can use or what I'm going to want to use. You can use whatever you want. But I have a little bit better idea of what I'm gonna want to look for my first layers at least. I already know there's lots of images I want to use on the top layers. Again, that's like decorating the cake. And again, that's, you know, that's going to be the easy fun part. This is a little bit more tricky and a little more tedious. But it's like putting a puzzle together. Or at least that's how I think about it. And I'm just looking forward to it. I'm not trying to do it. Obviously, I want to do it fast enough that at least I can start putting some pretty images, even if I get the background done on one page. Enough that I can start putting some pretty images on it. Like, where's that hot pink one? So I have enough that I could put, if I found something that's a circle that would fit there that I like, I could put it there. But I know I have access to more pink pages like this, so I might let that be my focus and give me one page just to kind of, you know, throw myself a bone. And I know I have plenty of these type of pictures, and I really like that a lot. And I like this a lot. I like that a lot. And then I can go back and add, because this has blues in it and golds, and so that's kind of my plan, is to stay along the color theme of the washi that I used. So now, for now, all these little bits and bobs, but see, that color matches that really well too. So I'm going to put all those little bits and bobs in their own, well, okay, I'll glue this last piece on. I know I said that a minute ago, but I mean it this time, because I think that's the last big one I have, so I have to mean it. And then I'll let you go. And then tomorrow, I'm not going to get to craft over the weekend. Today's Friday. By the time this downloads or uploads, it might be Saturday. But I'm not going to get to craft a whole lot over the weekend, because my niece is back in town, the one that helps me do stuff, the one that I get to use my vacuum images for. And because she comes, if you haven't seen my journal videos where I've talked about that, she was here for a couple weeks and helped me do some stuff around the house. Some things that I struggle doing or can't do. I hate to say can't, but, you know, like when I run the vacuum, I have to use, like the little rechargeable one. And, you know, she comes and, you know, she helps me do some of the things that I can't do. Yes, there are some things that I still can't do, and that's okay to say that. Can't isn't a mindset. I mean, I guess it can be for some people, but mine is I can't do it yet, or I struggle with it greatly. So it doesn't mean I won't be able to forever. It just means for right now, things that I can't do up to my standards. How's that? So I have a little bit of a white space down here that's bugging me, but that's okay. I'll take a purple marker and do that. But anyway, so she's coming this weekend. She's going to help outside, help me in the garden, help me in the house. So I probably won't get to craft a whole lot. So maybe get one other video and that's it. And then it's back. I'm going to have to switch back to my journal because I got to keep up in that, or I want to keep up in that. So anyway, but this was fun. I enjoyed it. It feels so good just to have gotten started. I mean, if you haven't done it, or if you've been wanting to do it, go start. Just start somewhere. You watched me do it. That's why I went ahead and made this video, even though I had no clue as to what I was doing. Because I thought maybe for those people that are really intimidated by it, but really want to do it, I thought maybe this would encourage you to get started. You know, yeah, maybe you choose some wrong papers, but, you know, nobody's going to die from it. So, yeah, just find you a book, put some washi on the edges, or not. You know, I thought about, I could have gone back and washed the edges after the fact. That would have probably worked out just as well. But the washi's on the edge helps. There's no doubt it helps kind of inform you of what colors you're going to use on that page. And it kind of just gives you a starting, you know, a jumping off point. So I'm glad I did it the way I did it. And I'm going to have fun with it. So I will see you in the next video and in the next journal. Have a great day. Bye.